สวัสดีค่ะ and good morning. Welcome to Morning Thailand. I'm Wanasorn Kerahong.
And I'm Palada Muksidi.
Now, Kun Palada, to start things off, and today is a very good news indeed. If you haven't heard already, Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Siridhorn has been in the hospital for quite a few days now. However, since the 8th of this month. Yesterday, the Bureau of the Royal Household has made a third announcement saying that right now the doctor have said that they will be able to discharge Her Royal Highness to go back to reside back to the Sra Pathum Palace. Now they say that in this particular announcement, in the third announcement concerning Her Royal Highness condition, it said that the princess was given treatment for her kidney disease that she has now, the removing of the stone, kidney stone indeed. And of course, yesterday there were a lot of the public as well as key figures in the public that went to pay respect to Her Royal Highness. And they say that in the statement quoted the Royal Medical Team report as saying that the operation was quite satisfactory, and at this point, of course, Her Royal Highness will be able to leave the hospital and going back to Sra Pathum Palace where she normally resides. Now, Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri Siridhorn, of course, has been in a hospital since the 8th, like I have said. However, they say that yesterday at Chulalongkorn Hospital, they closed the well-wishing, I guess, session for Her Royal Highness yesterday at about 6 p.m. But all through the day, a lot of people went and paid respect and wrote down one of those well-wishes books for Her Royal Highness. One of the interesting part, though, don't forget Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakri. She's quite I would say talented in terms of drawing and such. So some people in the well witches book, they would draw instead of writing the witches itself. So it was quite interesting showcasing the character, a very unique character of our princess indeed. And of course, this is one of the great news to start the day, especially for today.
That's definitely great news indeed. And I'm sure that a lot of Thais are also happy to hear about the particular development of that news as well.
Right.
And to move on now to other local news that are happening. And this time it's due to a capture or the arrest of two friends, I guess we can say, in this robbery case. Both of them were captured, and this was a case of police arresting them in Samut Prakan province.
Oh, so partner in crimes.
That's right.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. And it's due to the fact that they were going from apartment to apartment or rooms to rooms to break into those places and, steal stuff and eventually, selling them off. And these are all for drug abuse, basically. So that's the main cause of the case here. And to mention in more of the details, we have it here that the police were able to arrest both of them, like I said, and they were identified as Anukun or Joe Kongbun, age 26 years old, while another was Nattapon or Natsi Lasuk, age 22 years old. And one was called Oan in Thai, or chubby, because he looks a little bit more chubby. And the other one was called
not that chubby
Pom,
either, that's the
the
thing.
one on the
But
right.
Yeah, the other one was really skinny.
And skinny, yeah. So I guess, that's the contrasting, and that comes for their name there. But just as soon as the police were able to capture them, they found, along with these two, they were able to confiscate, 16 mobile phones, 10 wristwatches, 17 speakers or loudspeakers, 2 digital cameras and 2 CD players, and etc. Also 14 Buddha amulets. And all of those listed up to 100 valuables or things. And the police were suspecting that this is a little bit more than expected. Because basically they say that they investigated a little bit more, and both of them confessed that they did this several times, breaking into rooms and everything.
Right.
And they say that it's more than 50 times already that they have been doing this for this. I can't say couple, right? Well, they're friends. Okay. Now,
the
partners. And they said that these are just some of the valuables that are left because most of them, they already, pawned it or sold it off, and then they used the money to buy more drugs, and that's basically what they did. Now, there was also, of course, one particular victim, a female victim, who came to the police station in order to see some of her own belongings. And she said that during the time that she found out that she was robbed, she came back to her room and she found that her room was broken into. There were gold necklaces and also 2 gold rings and also a computer that was missing. That's just an example of one of the victims there. And of course, both of them are already arrested. It was one arrest of the first, the Chancheongsao, and then it led to another because of the confession.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
both of them are right now already arrested.
All right. Well, with that news, unfortunately, going to another news, and this is not about the arrest, but I think it's about something that we should be a little bit more careful here in Thailand. Oftentimes, there are a lot of accidents that could have been preventable if we have stricter safety measures or even more understanding of the equipments that we used if it's quite dangerous equipment. And I'm talking about the explosion that took place in Chancheongsao province.
Yes.
Now, this particular case, they say that the 3 people that died instantly at the scene involving a couple who actually started it all. Now, what happened was the 2 people, which is a couple, Kun Suradet Sawang Arom, as well as Kun Prathum Palace, who was actually went to this particular store. This store is actually called Sak Oxygen. So it is a store that's selling all the, I guess, oxygen pressure tank. And they actually refill all the oxygens for the tank as well. Most of the people that go into this place are using the oxygen for balloons and such. So what happened was the couple, Kun Suradet and Kun Prathum, went to the store because they were there on the 13th, so prior to yesterday, and they filled in their tank and they were supposed to use it for their balloons for sale, of course. However, they say that as they're trying to open the valve, there was some problem with it and it won't open. So eventually they decided to bring it back to the store, and this is what all is started. They trying to take the tank down from their car, their pickup truck, but due to the fact that the tank itself was actually, the cylinder tank was quite heavy, so they dropped it.
Oh, so that's the cause.
Well, that's not the cause, because technically if you dropped it, it still would be okay. But the problem was the owner, Kun Sak Thawon Wong, I'm not sure, it did not say whether or not he have seen that incident where it was dropped on the ground or not, but unfortunately he went straight to open the valve, and that's what happened. So I guess it's probably almost like when you drop a soda pops, like the pop cans and such, and it's probably create a lot of pressure
inside, right?
So if you open it right away, right, without trying slowly or maybe have some safety measure prior to that, this is what happened. And the severity of this explosion ended up causing quite a bit of an impact to 20 houses next to this particular store. And they say that there were 6 people that got injured while they were at the scene, and they were all sent to the Siridhorn hospital. They say that several of the cars around the area were has been destroyed as well, and of course all three victims that were at the scene, the couples as well as the owner of the store, died instantly, and they say that their body was just pretty much dismembered in a very So, and that is one of the things that I said. It was supposed to be preventable had they have a little bit more understanding, because these kind of equipments, gas cylinder is actually quite scary, right? I mean, we have seen before with, as you can see there, I guess this is a CCTV camera in front of the store or opposite of the store. So at this point, I think the police will actually look more into this, but hopefully the concerned ministry will look into this as well and make sure that this type of incident will not happen again, especially if for the stores that maybe they should have a license to sell all this, pretty much. What should I say? In the equipment that is prone to be exploded and create quite a bad impact to the area, I think that's one of the things that has to be looked into a lot more, and people needs to have a little bit more understanding of what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that the government or like you said, those related agencies, they will definitely come out, I'm sure, with from now on, more ways to prevent, giving more information to the public, especially,
and that's the thing. I'm not even sure that whether or not the owner of this store have seen the incident where the couple dropped it, because if he didn't see it, he wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But if he did see it, then there's something wrong with this, system, obviously, to allow someone who didn't have enough knowledge on this particular type of equipment.
Usage of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving away from that now to another case. I'm still talking about drugs again this time, but this is after there were some of the reports of a particular DJ who has been involved in some drug selling. And it turns out that he was also selling in the area that he was living in, and also he's a DJ at some of the famous venues or pubs as well. And accordingly, this DJ has already been arrested for selling drugs. And by the way, he also said that he has sold some of his drugs to a famous teenage actress before as well, right?
That's not good.
I know, but for this particular DJ, as you can see right there, his name is Chancheongsao or J-Tong. And he's 20 years old. He was arrested, and this was along with a bag of 200 of the methamphetamine pills, and also 2.4 grams of ice on him. Now, according to the Daily News newspaper here, it says that he was DJing at the Flix RCA pub and also at Safe House, which is in Thonglor. Now, but due to his pregnant wife, he says, and also his habit of being, a little bit of a big spender at the moment. Maybe it's because of the nightlife.
Due to his pregnant wife.
Yeah, that's his, his reason for why he said that he was kind of short of money, and that's why he decided to, get drugs from his friend in the Chakri 4 area so that he can, sell it off and trade it.
Right.
At these pubs and venues and etc. He said that he bought 10 pills for 1,000 baht and he sold them at 2,000 baht. He also bought some of the ice for 2,000 baht per gram, and he sold it at 3,500 baht per gram as well. And he's been doing this for a month already. And
really?
Until he was arrested, of course. Now, like I said earlier, he said that he also sold some of his drugs to a famous teenage actress.
Okay.
And just as soon as, of course, the mother of that claimed actress knew about it, she came out to tell us that she already asked her daughter what was going on, did you really take the drugs, and etc. And the daughter said that I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never taken drugs before, and it's not true. The mother basically said that, she trusts her daughter, but she did, tell her daughter that you're in the showbiz, whatever you do, it could come back to you. So just be very, very careful of what you do. And this time, I trust you, and etc. So
all right. Well, we're probably going to hear more about it, that's for sure, if they dig a little bit deeper into as to who this particular person is, because they didn't really tell us the name anyway. All right, let's take a short break, but then when we come back, we have a lot more updates, especially on the demonstrations that happen around town. Today is the second day already, the third day already for the civil disobedience, so please stay tuned.